Yes, so our topic is essence versus personality and the practice of ongoing inquiry. So basically, awakening means to shift identity from personality or ego to being or essence. That is called awakening. Awakening to our deeper nature as essence or presence or being. That's a general perspective from all spiritual traditions, or most traditional teachings. Now, different teachings approach this quite differently, but they all have this in common, that we are awakening from the sleep of being identified with ego self to the more clear, awake understanding that we are presence, we are essence, we are being. So we can awaken to this fact, and then we can fall asleep again. And then we can awake again, and then we can fall asleep again, and so on and so forth. So real awakening is when we can not only taste presence, but we can abide in presence. Presence is always available. Presence in various qualities of presence. So if that's always available, you just stop, take a breath, and remember. You may forget it, but it's not far away. It's just a breath away. You breathe, you connect, and there it is. So that's more stabilized awakening. But there are different levels, as I understand it, levels of awakening. So tasting essence or presence or experiencing it even on an ongoing way may happen in two ways. Either it's an experience or it is who we are. So when I realize not only do I experience essence or presence, but presence is who I am. So this is called a shift in identity. I realize I am not my body, I am not my thoughts, I am not my memories, I am not my history, I am not my plans, I am not my feelings, I am presence, this is me, I am. So hum. I am that. And that is being. So this is called self-realization. I realize I become what I am. I had forgotten that this is actually not only something I can experience, but it is who and what I am. And this can also be momentary, and I can forget again. I can be self-realized, but then I can be caught again. If I don't, so in a way, unless it's a momentous experience, momentous shift, we can still forget. That's how I understand it. Maybe we can't forget completely, but we can somehow let it slip. It is interesting that Buddha, who had a huge awakening and realized his deepest essential nature and is famous for that at the age of 36 or something, he still practiced meditation for the rest of his life. Why? Why was he practicing meditation? Thich Nhat Hanh also, Dalai Lama, the great masters, most of them, they are still practitioners, even they are considered the most enlightened beings. So that's quite interesting to just consider. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna be self-realized and then I'm just gonna chill out as that for the rest of my life. So the practice of presence is basically for life. And the practice can happen in different ways. There is the practice of meditation, which is what the Buddha especially taught. Vipassana, mindfulness, meditation in various ways. Then there is the practice of devotion, devotion to the divine. It's like praying, prayer, having an altar, feeling love for one's teacher, for one's dead or alive teachers, for the lineage, the teachings, the Buddha, the Dharma. Then there's the practice of inquiry, which is another specific spiritual practice, which is my favorite practice and what we emphasize in Zen coaching. Meditation plus inquiry. Endless practice. And inquiry we can do every moment by asking what's happening now in me. Can I allow it? And can I be curious about it in a loving way? Can I understand it more fully, more deeply? That is inquiry. So in other words, inquiry is something, if you are interested in self-realization and awakening and living as presence, inquiry needs, and inquiry is your practice, main practice or a main practice. It really needs to be something you do every day. On the bus, in the sofa, in the family dinner, Christmas dinner. If you don't do it every day, you're not really into it. Or you haven't quite understand what inquiry is. It's not setting aside 1 hour with a repeating question once a month or once a week. That's not really what inquiry is. It's that also, but really it's an approach to life, just like mindfulness. If you do mindfulness 7 days a week in a year in a retreat, that doesn't work. Mindfulness to work has to be a daily way of living. That's why Thich Nhat Hanh says the way you brush your teeth is the way you live your life. So if brushing your teeth is not a mindfulness practice, or washing your cup, then really awakening and self-realization will likely not happen or likely not deepen. And it's a matter of commitment. Nobody said you have to. Question is, what is your priority? What is our priority in life? So my approach in Zen coaching is to give people a strong taste of essence so that they will be motivated early, like Zen coaching module 1, to give people a strong taste of essence and presence so that they will be motivated to make this a priority in life. And priority is showed by how we spend our time, how we brush our teeth, what we focus on, where we spend our money, and so on. Like for me, I never worried about the cost of any group in personal development or the price of my coach or anything. This is my first priority. If I have the money, I spend it. Like, there's no question to limit my expenditure in personal growth because it is my #1 priority. Then if I run out of money, I will drop something else, not personal development. Now, most of you have been with me for some time, so you've tasted essence and you've learned about the different essence qualities, you've tasted them. Presence, I like to say, presence is like a field. It's like water, it's like air, it's like liquid. It's a tangible, it can be almost touched and felt like I'm a fish in the ocean of presence. So presence is not limited or bounded by anything. It has no boundaries. However, we may experience it initially in specific locations in the body, different qualities. So what do I mean? For those who are less familiar, what do I mean by different qualities? I mean qualities such as love, peace, compassion, joy, curiosity, value, space, stillness, power, direct knowing, intuition, clarity, ecstasy, passion, bliss, emptiness, groundedness, stability, perseverance. So you see, with this perspective on essence, it is not one thing. It is one thing, and it's many things also. But these things are not really separate. They are all different facets of the same diamond. We are a diamond of essence, and this diamond shines with different qualities. And now when we say personality versus essence, or essence versus personality, we have created a duality, which is a consequence of language. We cannot speak without creating distinctions. But a distinction doesn't contradict unity. If I say left hand and right hand, they are completely separate. They have nothing to do with each other. You can see on the screen. This hand is over here. This hand is over here. They live separate lives. This one wants to go play with the snow. This one wants to cook some food. Completely separate beings, seemingly. If you look at it visually, they can do different things. But in reality, they're connected. They're one expression, two expressions of one. So in the same way, personality and essence are not really separate. It's not two exactly different things. It's more like, I like this image. Water is fluid. It takes the shape of any container you put it in. It flows. But it can also become ice, which is very obvious if I look outside my window these days. It's -15 and a lot of ice. So this ocean, which is flowing and waving, and can become a very rigid piece of ice. And if you look at it, it's so different from water, but it is water in ice form. So personality is essence in fixated form. It's not different from essence. It's just fixated. It doesn't have the flexibility, fluidity, and openness of essence, but it is made of essence, presence. So what we're looking for is connecting with something which is not fixated. And that is why in Zen coaching, we emphasize not knowing mind. to say yes to not knowing. And that is why I often begin these webinars with the practice of taking a little holiday from the mind. The mind is what tends to fixate through opinions, ideas, beliefs, worries, fears, and memories. So I invite you to take a 2-minute holiday from all of that. How? Simply by taking a breath, giving your body permission to relax, and reminding yourself there's nothing I have to do right now. And just do nothing. So try that for 2 minutes. Nothing you need to learn, nothing you need to understand, nothing you need to think about, nothing you need to achieve, nothing you need to do. Right now, you can just give yourself a little break. With open eyes, with closed eyes, lying, sitting, standing, it doesn't matter. And simply deciding, I'm not going to give any attention or energy to thinking right now. I'm going to simply give that a little break. If a thought comes, I'm not going to feed it any food, the food of attention. I'm just going to let it float away, disappear, vanish. Giving myself a little break from doing and thinking and achieving and performing. Spirituality and meditation can so easily become another achievement activity. I'm going to achieve enlightenment. I'm going to achieve healing. I'm going to achieve essence. Forget about it. Give yourself a break. And the paradox is, the moment you give yourself a break, it's there. It's very paradoxical. When you don't look for it, it's there. When you look for it, it vanishes. That is essence. So this is what I call the micro practice, and Christmas time is a very good time for it. Lot of family, lot of triggers for most of us. That was the whole meditation today. Just a 2-minute holiday from doing, performing, achieving, and thinking. And this you are allowed to do many times every day if you want, at no cost. If you have time. Do you have time? Yes or no? I have time? Yes. Do you have motivation? Yes or no? Okay. So if you have time and motivation and it's free, what's in the way? Just habits. Now you can schedule it because everybody has a smartphone. You just put an alarm 4 times a day. You give yourself a 1-minute holiday each time it rings. Following the principle scheduling what is most important. If you don't remember by yourself, why not collaborate with your smartphone? Let the distraction machine become a mindfulness machine, if you want. That was my introduction today. Now I would like to hear from you. How are you after listening to these reminders? It's not very new information, but these things, in my opinion, we need to hear again and again. Am I right? So I would like to hear, how are you having listened to me and taken a 2-minute holiday? Actually, somebody told me, I'm not going to call it a holiday, I'm going to call it playtime. 2-minute playtime. Play, just play in inner play of essence, presence. So somebody's willing to unmute yourself and say a few words so we can connect a bit.